There's the chop.
Hey, buddy.
It's good to see you, man.
Good to see you, brother. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about not having those links up. I normally would have them up, but I think I got thrown for a loop with Dread dropping out like he did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It was just like, oh, okay. It's okay.
No, it's
Well, at
okay.
least the ones
No.
with the talent are still here.
Yeah.
We'll we'll make sure everybody knows that. I mean, we're gonna have
Yeah.
to rip into them mercilessly, otherwise it wouldn't be
Oh,
love. It wouldn't be
yeah.
love, you
I want to
know?
be loved. Yeah,
Right,
this is
right.
love. With
Yeah, yeah.
creative consultants,
Right, right. Yeah. And
we are the alpha and the omega. We are okay,
Daniel,
bud.
how's it going, man?
I'm fine. How you two doing? You all right?
Yeah,
Hi,
yeah.
Daniel.
Doing all right, man.
Living the dream.
Excellent, excellent. We're excited to talk with you guys and
Oh man, we're gonna have humor central, dude. All right.
excellent, excellent. I expect it. You better bring the fucking game, man.
Oh, dude, you ain't fucking seen anything yet, dude. All right.
Yeah.
He, Chop Top will be going through a fucking wall. Trust me. That is
Nice.
the whole plan.
Yeah.
Right?
If I don't hear the word cunt 25 times, I'm gonna feel shorted.
Exactly.
How's everything going though? You both all right?
Yeah,
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 no,
we're doing okay. We lost the co-host over the last week. Our Dread Bull decided to he just wants to spend time, he's a little burned out, wants to spend time with more time with his family and doing some gaming
Fine.
stuff. And I said, "Hey, I understand, man. We're supposed to do this for fun, but we're gonna rip on you mercilessly because we love you. Um,
yeah,
but at least you have the two with real talent. Okay, that's at
yeah,
least you got the good
yeah. The
ones left there."
talent's here, Daniel. So,
It's hard,
fuck him.
it's like
So,
it's hard work by the time you've done everything and done the editing, and it is, you know what I mean. It's amazing the amount of times you're just trying to do this, even just trying to get a meeting organized. Someone might have something or whatever. Like it's hard work with everything and everyone,
Yeah.
So
It
sure
is. It's a
thing.
lot of commitment, and we've been doing this about 2.5 years now. And after the first year and a half, we took a break. We were instead of doing shows every other weekend, we started doing shows like we record two shows one Sunday a month to give everyone a little breather. Because I'm also doing Unsane Radio, and we're actually going to that now. We're going to be adopting that. We're going to be like just giving us a little more free time and breathing time. So I get it. We're just having fun, but we're still going to have a whole fucking great time, and that's what's important.
oh, definitely, totally, yeah. No, this is
Yeah.
the thing. This is the thing, totally. So you just got to get on it, haven't you?
Yeah. I mean, we're all family guys and we understand, and as we get older, time becomes the most precious commodity. So, and if there's a day where Chop and I aren't having fun, we'll just have to,
No, exactly. That's the thing,
call it
man. That's the
quits.
thing. I get to see Curran as well soon, which I'm looking forward to. He's coming over to the UK, so I'm going to one of the gigs. Sheffield, I'm going to.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
Huh.
nice. With 72 Legions.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that's gonna be a fucking great show.
yeah. Cryptus. I can't remember who the fucking bands were. That was it. I was just more excited about seeing Curran.
Yeah. Oh, he's a great guy. And I've seen them a couple times live now. They're just such a good band. And so it's gonna really be a great show. And definitely approach him, talk to him. Everybody in the band is just so easily approachable and super nice. And so definitely go and say hi.
Awesome. Awesome. I think the more important thing to look at is A, Andy's got a beer at 6 o'clock, and B,
Yeah.
Andy's actually wearing one of my shirts, but a white version.
Oh,
Nice.
God. Hell yeah. Cool.
Excellent. Yeah,
What?
I don't have any beer in hand. I've got lots of cannabis. I
Yeah.
got a fucking dispensary in my house.
See you
Um,
in 5 minutes. All right, I'm coming.
yeah, yeah, um, yeah. I've got I can't say how much. Let's just say it's a little over the limit. Just say that.
No.
I don't do
Yeah.
anything half-assed, It's all both cheeks for me.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like,
you
Yeah.
do.
look,
Yeah, you
like
do. You do the show half-ass. Come on. What are you talking
it's,
about?
yeah. Well, I'm not high this time, so I'm good. I want to try to be halfway sharp. Anyway, you know, I know there's no point in impressing these guys, so it's just this is what it is.
Yeah.
But we're so glad, Andy, Ben, was so really nice to meet you. Daniel's
You
been
too.
on before, and he came back for a second time, so we can't. Yeah, hey, you get what you get, man. You know what you're expecting, Daniel. But yeah, we're gonna have a good time, guys.
Mhm.
Thank you so much for having us as well.
Yeah.
It's
No
really,
problem.
really, really appreciated.
Andy's the,
Excellent.
Thank
Andy's the
you.
respectable one and the polite one, just letting you know.
Okay.
He does use the
So
T
he's
word.
gonna say cunt only 5 times,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Okay, okay, that's
I
good.
was
There
going
we
to
go.
say con. Awesome. Couldn't say con on the last one.
Nice, excellent. Do we have anyone else
I think
coming in? Or we
Aiden,
got
I
the
think
three.
Aiden was coming. Just one sec. Oh, he's gonna just be 2 minutes if you want to.
Oh yeah, we got plenty of time.
Um,
2 minutes.
yeah,
It sounds like my sex life. Just got 2 minutes. That's all I need.
probably what he's doing at the moment.
And
God,
that's including
you go
cuddle
2
time.
minutes? Holy
That's
shit.
that's including cuddle time. You know,
I
I
don't know
hold
what you're going to do with
myself.
the other minute after that, but
That's
fair
right.
enough.
Exactly. I
Yeah,
just
that's
feel.
cleanup time.
I'll
Yeah.
just feel regret.
Just
Regret.
roll with it, it's fine.
Yeah,
You know?
that's lots of
Steve-
feelings of shame
Seriously,
and
when,
regret.
when did you get that white T-shirt?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, part of me is like annoyed, and part of me wants to get it because I've got the black version.
The wife got it for me for Christmas,
Ah, that's the T-shirt she was
as well as the super pink guitar.
Right, I thought she was taking the piss with that T-shirt when she got it.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a hot pink.
Cool.
It's like some lipstick. That's nice.
It's super pink.
Yeah. Does it make you play better?
It makes him pout more when he's playing.
That's it. I pout. I don't know what That's my thing.
The king of pout.
Yeah,
Have you done on the no smoking today then?
down to like I don't know 3, something like that.
3 packs? That's not
Yeah,
bad.
well,
You got to start somewhere.
We've had this thing for New Year, like Dan's stopping smoking. Have you actually stopped smoking? No, no.
Yeah, I've stopped smoking.
No, but no, actual for real. You're in the house, aren't you? You
No,
can't-
I can
you
say
can't say.
I've got nothing. I've
Yeah,
got
yeah.
all I've got here
Well,
is a
with
light.
the vapes, they don't make smoke, so you could go with
Yeah, yeah.
that.
I've been
No.
going with that. It's great.
I'm just doing the vape a bit. That's
Yeah.
it.
What is the UK's position on cannabis? Are you guys legal, not legal? What is the thing over there?
No,
No, it's not legal. Oh,
no, it's
fuck.
not legal.
What's so fun?
We wouldn't know anything about it.
Okay.
Not all.
I'm sure I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, look, there might be friends here. I might have someone in the know. If you get a supply one day, it says adult toys, then you know. Do not shake. I'll just send you a whole variety of 1 gram adult toys.
No, it's
Yeah.
not. No, it's not at all. It's really, really not. It's what's the weirdest thing is everyone now seems to have stopped smoking. It's like totally and utterly. I mean, I've been on and off for years, and I'm probably doing it now. And when Andy came in, it was exciting because like someone else who smokes cigarettes. This is ace. This is brilliant. And then I sort of stopped, and then Andy had come round, and I'd hide around the back of the garage with him having a fag, and then get shouted at afterwards.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
he quit.
And now I've stopped as well, pretty
I know.
much.
I have to stop myself. Well, I'm a pack a day guy, so and
I was
yeah,
about to say. I was about to
it's
say.
so hard.
I mean, look, you've been
So hard.
masturbating madly for the last 40 years. It's not going to stop. You know that, Chop. It's just, and that's what Dread Bull's doing. He went off and, all this amateur jerking off. He's actually joined a professional jerk off league. So that's what he's doing. He's,
Yeah, that's
while
why
he, while he
that's why I
still
quit the
can pull
show.
off a couple shots left, he's still got to go to that, reaching for that cup. That specimen cup is what he's shooting for. So good luck, Dread Bull. Good
Yeah.
luck.
Aiden's coming now. I've just got to resend him the link because he's a dick. Fucking he's a fucking ass. He really is. I love him to bits, but he's a fucking ass. There we go. Resend it to him. Come on. Oh, what's the reason? Oh, sorry. He'll have probably been having a bath. He's got this thing about fucking when there's like you're about to go something like that, and you've got 5 minutes to leave. He goes, "He's gonna have a bath." It's like a bath fetish. He's got. It's
Wow.
fucking-
Maybe do the bath like an hour before you leave instead of 5 minutes.
No, he can't do it. This is what he's like. He's just
Wow.
known for his bath.
Just bring a fucking hose, man. Just squirt that bitch
Sounds-
down.
Yeah, sounds like he's the difficult one, huh?
Yeah.
We love it.
We all know what that's we're like. Chop chop.
I can be a little challenging. Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
There he is.
It's probably live from the bathroom.
Hey, so am I.
Hey, okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna ship my pants right here, so it's all good. All right,
yeah.
there's
You've had a bath, haven't you? Look at your hair. You've had a bath, haven't you?
Not today.
No?
Like-
You want to
Dirty
take a bath
bastard.
before we start? I hear that you really enjoy baths.
I do, yeah, daily.
Excellent. Do you change water, or is it just the same bath water for
I'll
a
just
couple
leave
of
it
days? There you
back in the
go.
old dirty cold water.
Yeah, there you go. It's your filth, so it's not gonna like stink of anything else.
Exactly.
So yeah, exactly. And you get the
Exactly.
soap on there,
Yeah,
forms a nice coat.
you have a nice loofah, you're fine.
So there you go. Nice. See, everyone's vaping. See, it's good. It's good for you, Britain. Good for you. Get out there. Change
Yep.
those laws.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh, well, guys, we will appreciate you showing up and spending some time with us. We're gonna do our amazing intro, then we're gonna get right into it. How's that?
Excellent.
Awesome.
All right. Sure.
All right, I'm Susanna Capistaci, director of Night of the Zodiac, and thank you for listening to Heavy Metal Horror. Yeah.
I am Montag, master of illusion. What goes up must come down, but not always.
Hey, this is Chop Top. Stay tuned and stay glued, because this is heavy.
And there's no fucking Dreadpool. Fuck you, Dreadpool.
Fuck you, Dread.
You are watching and listening to Heavy Metal Horror. Oh, bitches. All right. Welcome to a brand new season of Heavy Metal Horror. We've taken a few weeks off, and you guys are the first ones back. Our first interview in since way back in 2023. So, guys, just welcome to Heavy Metal Horror. Glad you can join us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much,
Thank
guys.
you. Thank you.
First, I want to say Bleeding the Ghost is fucking brilliant. I mean, we did a live reaction to the album. We love it. It's such a great album, and I know you guys are working on a next one, but I'm really excited to talk about it. But I just wanted to let you know we're fans. We really like your music.
Thank you
Very
so
much.
much. Thank you.
Yeah, the live review was nice.
We sat and watched your live. We didn't have like a live review party or anything. We all went to our own homes and watched your live review, and you went into so much detail, and you picked out things that we didn't think that people would notice, and you kind of put it together in a way of, and one of the things that you said, I think it was Chop said, there's a simple density, and then we've taken that into the writing of what we're doing for the next album, of like, these guys hit it, they nailed it as to what's going on there. So you gave us really, really good stuff. So thank you very much.
Oh, you're
Well, thank you
welcome.
very much.
You're welcome.
What I noticed about Bleeding the Ghost is, I think it is to this point your finest achievement, number one, and number two, I love the groove and the flow throughout the whole album. It's this groove kind of metal flow.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I really picked up on that. We all did automatically. So just such great production, that groove, that flow, that every song just went to the next. So it was very, very good.
No, thank you
Refreshing.
so much. It was nice. What I liked was, you got everyone sort of like messing you, going, oh, I really like the album, I like this, I like that. But to see someone listen to it and pick up certain things, like when you were going on about like the halftime and and little things like that, it was like, cool. Someone's got it. Someone's got it. But like I said, like what Andy said, there was little bits that I think we didn't even sort of realize that people had pick up on. And it was like, oh wow, cool. You've noticed that. You've done that. And that was like really, really cool, that, to be honest.
Because we're fucking brilliant. I mean, let's just call it as it is. I mean,
That's it. That's it.
no, yeah. Well, we're always nervous about doing live reactions because like we're always like, okay, what if this album sucks? And because we've done about a half a dozen or so live reactions, and we're always like very like, how do we handle that? But so far, every album we've done has been great, and yours is no exception. And what I love, like what Chop had mentioned, like the groove, it's like you guys have some of the catchiest riffs. The music is like, it's simple. It harkens back to an earlier age of metal, but those riffs are so goddamn catchy. Like I'm hearing Bleeding the Ghost in my head right now, that riff, because it's just contagious. It's infectious. It sticks with you, like an STD, but in a good way. But so I guess we can maybe start off with, talking a little bit about that creative process. Like, how do you guys as a band create music? Can you lead us through that process?
I'm being quiet this time, Andy. If you want to do
Well,
it,
actually, I'm going to hand most of it to you because there's a bit of backstory that I'll tell you. So the lineup that you're meeting right now isn't entirely the lineup that recorded that album.
Yeah, we know there's some changes. Right.
Exactly, right. So Dan and Ben got together through COVID, and he'll tell you a little bit more about the story. But they came together with another guitar player who got to a point where he said, that's not really what I'm looking to do. I don't want to do this. My life has changed. So Dan and I went to school together. We've known each other literally forever. So he rang me up and said, I need a guitar player, and I need a guitar player to put a solo down on an album next week. Can you do it? And I'm like, fuck, okay. So I came in and I'm listening. He threw me a bunch of demos, and I'm listening to what's essentially just pieces of music. They weren't songs. There was structures in place, there was things in place, but going into a studio, things got rearranged. I'd never heard a vocal. And he's like, yeah, solo there. I'm like, well, so what the fuck is the song about? Not just what are the chords, like what is this? What's the vibe? And you can get so much from the actual feel of it. So you picked out the grooves on a couple of songs. I'm like, yeah, I can probably stick a solo in there. But in terms of the actual how did these songs come together, you probably want Ben and you probably want Dan for this one.
yeah. Well,
You two pick it up.
yeah. Thanks, Andy. Good intro. Well, we just started during COVID because it was like you could only have when the laws got relaxed, you could have one-on-one. So at that time, Aiden's actually rejoined the band because he was in the band before for a couple of years, and he did the previous album that was the re-release. He redid the 3 tracks on there that were off the original album. So he'd done that, and just as COVID was happening, Aiden had got an offer to play with a group called Blanket, and he was gone on to the recording album that was like on Sony and stuff, and he's playing on there. It's phenomenal, and it was like an opportunity that he couldn't pass up, and it was like, do it, really, really cool. He was a dickhead, but we'll leave it there. But I do love him. I've known him all my life.
I've learned from the biggest dickhead in the business, though.
Yeah, I'm closer to your mum than you.
Yeah, because your mum's fucking shit.
Oh.
She's not going to hear
All
this,
right,
so it's
we
fine.
found our level for the night. Then I see where we're at.
Okay,
Yeah, no, it's good. That didn't take long.
No,
I
it's
can,
okay.
I can feel the love. Like, can you feel the love tonight? I can
Yeah,
feel
you
it
do.
right now.
I'm the
Yes.
same with Ben's mum.
It's like a Disney movie right here.
Yeah, we're hearing a lot. Hey, we're hearing a lot of dicks thrown around, but not a lot of cunts. So we need to throw that in there. Yeah, daffy cunt.
So we started just doing these things one-on-one because you could only you could come round and you had like one person you were allowed and stuff. So I had Ben coming round. So like over the space of like the 8 months or whatever, Ben had come round like once, twice a week. We'd work on stuff, and then to be honest, most of the stuff we'd work on when we'd finished outside in the garden, like having a cigarette, sort of like having a chat and go, "Hey, that's really good. What's that?" And we started to build the stuff up there. And then as COVID came down, James, the singer, had just joined the band. We decided we had a few gigs to do, and we wanted to get him embedded first. So album was still there, but we just took a bit of back stop just to get him going. And then we sort of picked stuff up, and then we were sort of going from there. Everything was going. Sadly, the other guitar player was going away at that time, so it was just like the 4 of us sort of getting together, and then James had come, and it sort of built from there. And to be honest, there was a couple of things that were quite last minute for getting everything, and then as we went in, it was like, yeah, I want to get someone else in, so hence we gave Andy a call, and we sort of said, right, this is everything we got. And it was quite cool because Andy came in and was able to add a couple, besides the solos, there's a couple of little parts that I hadn't thought of, and he just came along and goes, hey, this needs a melody, this needs that, this, why don't I try this? And he did that, and he did a fantastic job. And to be honest, considering that he'd not really been involved or done it, he added some amazing solos, but also added some great harmonies. And it was like, okay, this is really cool. But there was a lot, like I said, that was like, what should we do here? What should we do? And he did that brilliantly, to be honest, considering he was just sort of thrown at it. But it was just like, I knew what he was capable of because I've seen him play for years, and he's one of the most gifted guitar. I'm sucking up again here, all right. So just lazy ego, go for a sec. But he's one of the most gifted guitarists ever, and he's like, it was quite cool to see him come down, learn the stuff, and this gifted guitar player was sort of trying to get his head around the stuff, and then sort of get going and have it. And to be honest, having him on, we've got two totally different guitar players. He's the melodic, let me write a story in my solo, whereas I'm the bull in the china shop, and how many notes and weird sounds can you make? And it sort of like evens us both out, really, to be honest. And it sort of just went from there, but it was like just it was a fun, enjoyable process where we sort of went through it. And we had a couple of songs that I think there was one song in particular where Ben didn't like it and he was just being a dick. And that was the song that all the Belgians liked and was the first song that went on one of the compilation albums. And it was
That'll
like,
teach you, Ben.
yeah.
I know.
And
Thing
it's
is, I just want to clear up. I love the verse, but I don't like the rest of it. I don't like
Which
vibe,
song? Which song?
Snake bite.
Okay.
Yeah.
But can I just say the bass bit that I wrote, we finished rehearsing, me and Dan, and then he just said, "Oh, we need to do something like ba ba da ba da ba da ba da," and I was unplugged and just started messing about. He said, "What was that?" And I was like, "I don't know." Play it again. So I played it again, and that was the start of Snakebite.
And then he didn't fucking like it, dickhead.
But the Belgians did, and they've got good chocolate. So hey.
But that was it. It was really good. I think the only bit that was the struggle was and it was my own fault, was at the very end, everyone was getting so many mixes, which I shouldn't have done, but people then were confusing because I'm listening to version 47 or 52 or what's this, and everyone was sort of a bit confused with it, really. And that was my own fault, really. Which I won't do that again. At least it'll be a lot fresher because you just didn't know what the fuck you were listening to. You're like, is this one? Are you sure? Because I preferred that on 37 as opposed to 52, and it was like a bit confusing, really.
There's so many different shades of grey around some of the mixes that it was just way too much, I think. But that's something that we went back to a drum sound fairly early on, and like, let me get rid of that. Do we really need to have a different snare? Do we need to do this? Do we need to do that? And it went into such minute detail with a lot of the stuff that, you're wondering, well, I'm not sure what I'm listening to anymore. I'll give you another, for instance. So originally the song Manhattan, Dan had a different working title for it. It was something to do with it, like Dead Romeo or something like that.
Yeah.
So so when I'm trying to write a song, I'm like, well, what the fuck is the song about? I've not seen a vocal, I've not seen a lyric for it. And eventually it came out as Manhattan, which you guys picked out as like a good Testament ballad kind of vibe to it. So we're like, okay, and it needs a different solo here, and it needs a different part here, and it needs a different part there. So in the end, I think I had like 5 different solos to it. But they just kind of all came at different points in time when we were putting it together in the studio. So I think what we walked in with as kind of demos when we actually put it together in the studio was quite different.
That's what happens.
talking
Like,
about-
the creative process,
Yeah.
the give and take, and sometimes you hear something and it will inspire you. What it begins as isn't necessarily the same as what's going to finish up as.
No,
Yeah.
definitely. I think the bit that I enjoyed most was seeing James in the studio because it was his first time in the studio. But I don't think you've ever seen anyone as cool and professional as James. About when you get like a musician. I mean, Ben, you put Ben in the studio and Ben's just like a machine. Ben does a full day, doesn't move, literally has a piss, that's it, and just
While he's playing. Yeah.
While he's playing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. And whereas James, you watch him, and James needs a bit of guidance, and you give him a bit of guidance, and then all of a sudden he's just on it, and he does so many things where he'll talk and go, right, I need to sing this as a C and a D, and then go to this, and I'll go diminished here, and you're going, fuck are you going on about? Just make it sound cool, you dickhead. And Andy's the same. Andy goes, I'm going to do a melodic minor thing here, and you're just going, as long as it sounds good, I don't really give a fuck. Do you know what I mean? That's it, and that's the thing about it, and it just works well. And I think that's coming to what we're doing now. We're doing things a bit slightly different because now everyone's evolved. Aiden's back in. He's already made a stamp. We had to get the set sorted. For basically for getting going and everything like that. And we started writing already, and it's been a different vibe again, and quite cool and a bit more. I don't know. I'd say a bit more. I won't say professional, but it's just a bit more easier, I think, how we've been doing
Mhm.
it now. Right.
Yeah.
Organized.
I have a specific question about specific songs. So what is Catfish about that song? 'Cause
So
it seems like the whole album's flowing, and I remember even getting to, I'm like,
he's
it's a great song, but I'm like, I don't know what the fuck this is about. So I'm kind of interested to hear your guys'.
So it's not so when we're writing stuff, we've got a board in the room, so we put up song titles, right? The problem is that we remember those song titles a lot of the times more than when they actually change. So it's like Aidan, we're going through the set the other night because we're off to Belgium in a couple of months, and Aidan's going, "What the fuck's da da da?" It's like it's the song, and he's like, "Which?" He's like, "Oh, that's Healing Your Sin," because originally with the beat how it was, we're going da 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 da, so we called it da da da. And then we were coming up, James was like, I want topics to sing about and everything. So we said, what's some views? So we had a few, the first one we had was Bleeding the Ghost, where that was the whole idea, where it was about it's hard. I can go a bit off topic, but that's like about the idea about like when Dimebag died and how everyone, and not just Dimebag, but other musicians and people are trying to steal the glory when they're dead and go, oh yeah, he did this, he did that. It was like, you've never fucking mentioned him before, why you, and it was why you bleeding the ghost sort of thing, and we came with all these ideas. And then James he'd split from a relationship and he joined a few dating apps. Oh, I've got to be careful. I don't give a fuck. I'll just go.
Yeah.
So he joined a few dating apps and all this, and he'd go on these dates and everything, and then you'd hear these stories. But he had this date, and he went like on the train to meet this girl about an hour away, and he was writing another song at the time. I think he was writing the lyrics for Manhattan at the time and all this. And anyway, obviously, me and Ben work together, and James works there as well. So James is an accountant. So he comes in the next day, and like always, I was like, "What's the story? What's happened? Go on, tell me." And he looked. He's James. James comes into a room. He's got this smile. It's like this cheeky sort of smile he sort of does, sort of thing. And you're like there, and I'm like, and he looked like something had happened so bad that he just didn't want to tell, and there was an embarrassment. I was like, "Fuck happened?" And he said, he just wouldn't say. And I'm like, dude, I don't give a fuck. Just fucking tell me. And so, like, we're in the kitchen and he goes, right, this is who I went to meet. And he shows this picture. And she was a couple of years older than him. And I was like, all right, she looks nice and all this and da da da. This is who was there. And it was like nothing like it. It was, and I was like, holy fuck. And he was
Admiral
like,
Akbar.
yeah.
It's a trap.
I was like, and he was going on about it, right? And he was like, and he was like, he said, I didn't know what to do. He said, because she sort of even semi-admitted that she totally doctored the picture, but he felt bad that he didn't want to go.
Yeah.
So,
It's like you want an emergency number, like
so,
your buddy call you in 5 minutes to give you an out.
but he was an hour away.
Someone
So
was a kid trapped in a well. Oh my God, I gotta go rescue him. Yeah, yeah.
he was doing this.
I'd be like looking at her with the comparison of phone, like, what the fuck happened to your face?
Yeah, but James is such like, when he is a lovely guy, right? But he's like, I didn't really dare leave. I felt bad if I left. And he's just like there telling me, whilst I'm just in like, oh my God, I need to tell the entire fucking office now because this is fucking hilarious. And then I just went, oh man, I went, you got catfished. And I'm like, I've got an idea. I've got an idea. Let me do this idea before I tell everyone. No, let me tell everyone first, then I'll do it. And then I was just like, because what was weird, we had the song and we'd written the music to it. And it was the one song where we felt that I wanted to write this Annihilator style, sort of like sort of fast sort of thing and have this like bit of groove with the dead air, a bit like what Jeff Waters was doing. I thought, let's do that. This is really cool. And it was the one song where we're like, we don't know if it's going to work with, but I was like, I want to do it. I want to do it. I have faith. And James came in, he put this, I wrote the ideas for the pre-chorus and the chorus sort of thing and said, let's do that. Rest of it, no idea. And he wrote the rest of it, just all about the going out sort of different person, everything like, and what can happen. And also he sort of changed it, did it from a man's point of view and did it from a woman's point of view. And it was like, that's really cool. And that's what his lyrics do. He's a fantastic lyricist and comes up with ideas. But that was the whole concept behind like what Catfish sort of was. but it was his expense, which to me was fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's pretty fun.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna go a little back. Usually we start with like some background stuff. So now we want to kind of get to know everybody a little bit. And just I can ask, and anyone's welcome to chime in. We've already talked to Daniel. We don't give a fuck. So any of you other guys, when did you first get into music?
Oh,
Five.
Good.
Go on,
Hey,
no, go on, Aidan. Go on,
Aidan,
Aidan. I want to hear this. Go on, Aidan.
Hey, I'm the
Aidan.
guy that isn't on this album that everyone's talking about. Let me speak. Unfortunately, I got into music through Michael Jackson when I was a kid.
Were you at Neverland?
Yeah,
Did he touch you?
Neverland.
No,
Was
never.
it no bad touching?
Unfortunately, he didn't
Okay.
touch me. No,
No bad
I've had
touches.
other experiences with that though. So, but yeah, through Michael Jackson, he obviously worked with people like Eddie Van Halen and Slash from Guns N' Roses, which sent me down the rock spiral and blah blah blah. And then when I was about 11, I sat at a drum kit for the first time, could play it in a fashion, and then I've done it ever since. And here we are. And I've unfortunately known Dan for most of those years, and Ben a little bit less. Andy I met when I rejoined Promethium. But yeah, it's basically life, I guess. If I'm not drumming, I work in events, so I put gigs on and all that as well. So it's music is just part of life now.
Cool.
One of my best mates when I was at school about 14, put together some like compilation tapes of Maiden and Metallica, and then fell in love with those, and he just kept making more and more and more. And then I got my first bass when I was 16, and then yeah, just carried on from there. I've been in other bands where I played guitar, and then Dan approached me a few years ago and was like, "Do you want to play bass?" Yeah, I got on there. So,
How old were you?
and
How
that's-
old were you when we start? When From the Ashes started?
23,
Yeah,
22,
that's a while
23.
ago as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
So me and Ben
because
had a band previously as well together.
yeah, I've known Dan about too long
Yeah.
as well. About 22, 23 years, unfortunately. So,
Longer than that. We won't get into it. It's actually 25, but I'll leave it there. Obviously, some people remember, some don't. I'm fine about it.
but he says that, but he doesn't remember his anniversary. But
Fuck off.
see you, Dan. Although he's good at remembering anniversaries of when he bought a guitar. Aren't you, Dan?
All right, we'll leave it there.
Also,
We're not gonna get into that one. Okay, that's fine. That's cool. We don't, we'll save that for the next one on a very special, intimate interview with Heavy Metal Horror.
with Dan and his wife.
So, what is the metal scene in Lancaster like?
Shit.
Okay,
Horrendous.
really?
Lancaster used to be back in the day, in like 20, back in the day, Lancaster was phenomenal scene. It was unbelievable. Like bands had come far, the university, and we had a place at Morecambe. You had everyone. There was a place called the Gardens where all the metal bands came in the 80s, the 70s. Everyone was going to the university and also to Morecambe. Everyone, there was the Stones, everything. And then over the last 20 years, it's really just died a death. I mean, when originally me and Aidan played historically in a band before that, that was at a good time with Lancaster, and it was like really good. And then it's just died, and it's
The
a very
Northwest was good.
say again.
The whole Northwest,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Really.
And now the problem with it is now that what we've got here in England, there's a lot of like pickiness everywhere. We can never give a fuck what you go then you go to think we just want to go and do a show, play. You chat to people, you're playing in front of, your fans, you're playing in front of new people, it's good. But there's a lot of like very funny, and it's the same everywhere. There's a lot of like bitchiness, like where out of towners can come in and things like that. And it's like, there's no real need for it, but it's sort of what's sort of happened. And Lancaster, it's still good, and there's still some good venues, but it's nowhere near the level that it used to be. And it's a shame that it's a real shame, but it's just the way of the world, really, to be honest.
You guys probably can't quite get the context of it, but we live like 5 miles from the coast in the northwest, which is it's not London. So if you're not in one of the big cities, if you're not in a London, a Birmingham, or like a Glasgow or an Edinburgh, you probably don't get the same kind of attention. So the bands that pass through the UK since Brexit are probably a lot less. And then when they're doing it, they're doing the big stadiums. So I think a lot of the touring bands that you would typically tend to see, they're either looking at the UK and thinking, fucking basket case, or I can't sell what I need to sell there to make it viable
Yeah.
with everything else that goes on. So I think it's a bit of a detriment, but there is a grassroots music scene. And we've seen it with some of the festivals that we've played. If you look at the breaking bands, if you look at the Summer Slammer festivals, some of the bands that we meet there, they're really fucking good bands. And they're there at 2 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon, literally playing their fucking hearts out. To, I don't know, 100, 150, maybe 200 people, which for them and for us might not be a bad crowd.
Yeah.
We've done others where it's a good couple of thousand, you know.
Hmm.
It really, really depends. What you've got though is a core set of people who really, really fucking like metal and thrash, and they will travel for it. There's a couple of guys that we've had gigs where we've seen people in the crowd and we're like, you don't live anywhere near this place, do you? And like, no, we've come to see you. You know, it's like a 3 hour trip, a 6 hour round trip. I'm like, fuck me. Thank you for
Yeah.
coming out, you know?
Yeah.
They want to grab a t-shirt, they want to support the band, and they're not just doing that for us, they're doing that for a whole bunch of bands that they follow, whether they're signed, whether they're big, whether they're small. People like what they like and they go to it, and they're quite happy to go out and get merch. They want to support the band and they want to see the band do well.
That's amazing. It's got to make you feel awesome too. That someone would travel 3 hours to come see you and then have to travel 3 hours to get home, you know?
Yeah, you know,
Yeah. It's like the underground metal scene, in Cleveland area. That's where we're near Cleveland, Ohio. And it's something that I had been really woefully ignorant of, the metal scene, how big it was here. But now that's kind of reinvigorated my love for music and going out to see live shows. It's all these bands that I just really didn't know much about. I mean, I've been a metal fan for most of my life, and I feel like Jesus, there's a whole fucking slice of music that I just didn't know about.
yeah,
And so it's kind of like, oh my God, I want to see it all. It's like all the fucking Pokemon, I got to get it
yeah,
all.
yeah,
And so a lot of bands in Cleveland like Ringworm and Nunslaughter, Midnight, Assault. There's all these really great local bands. And then we were starting to attract more, the national bands like Deceased and Violence and, that are still coming to sell. You're going to see them in a small club. You're going to see a couple hundred people there. So it's a great intimate show. And I love that. I love being able to hang out with the bands beforehand and everyone's so cool. There's no fucking egos or attitudes. You get
yeah,
pictures, you hang out, you buy stuff, you talk, you go see a show and you're like 3 fucking feet away,
yeah,
from these guys. And as a lifelong metal fan, I'd much rather do that than, I mean, I love Iron Maiden, but it's like I've seen them, I've seen them enough times and I'd rather go see Violence or I'd rather go see Nonslaughter then because I'm going to see a great show and I'm going to be close. I'm going to hang out with these guys. So I kind of understand a little bit what you're talking about.
yeah, yeah. And we get really, really good support, and we never take it for granted. We're always really, really grateful of it. Because then people can move on. They might find something else. There's a cost of living crisis. That people's money has been squeezed. So at every point where people are coming out to see us and they're traveling, whether it's 5 minutes or whether it's 5 hours, it's really, really appreciated. So for that sort of stuff, we're really grateful.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and also congrats, guys, on the merch sales. Dan, seems like you guys just had a tremendous year with 2023.
We've been,
Obviously,
we've
and
been
I always see you. I'm part of the institution, the group,
yeah.
and you always put up on the merch sales, and it seems like it's just
Oh,
exploded.
we've been killing it. It's done. We did. I mean, the CD flew out because it wasn't. We sold it before it went out, like in the shops, and it did killer then, and it's still going now. It's obviously slowed down a bit, and then obviously when we go away, it's done great. The t-shirts, we had a new design t-shirt that Aiden's come back on, obviously doing the designs. He did the artwork for Bleeding.
Oh, fantastic artwork, by
Yeah,
the way.
it's gorgeous.
He's just done like the new t-shirts. We had a flag that sold out instantly.
Yeah, I saw the flag. I was tempted to get it, Mike. I better not.
Well, this is the thing. You know what's really weird, right? Is that and you see the sales coming in, for when we're doing it, and obviously, the first when we did it, because we've got the label that we run, so we sell the CD before it goes in the shops, before it goes digital and everything like that, to recoup. So we broke even day 2. The CD was flying out. It was like I was up for like 4 or 5 days till 3 o'clock in the morning getting everything done, because there was that much orders coming in. And it was weird. You see obviously new people, you see old people, and then there's like we're going away to Belgium in April for a couple of shows, which is always really great. But now with them there, their import tax is fucking terrible. So we do well selling there, but it's only when we go there now.
Right.
There's people that when one of my mates comes over, he comes over and he goes to his friends. I have to send him a shitload of CDs for him then to take back and sell, because now to get a CD in there, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's the same when I ordered a CD from the States the other day. I got the new Tommy Vext one, and including shipping for like a plastic card, CD, it was like 28 quid, which is like, it's fucking mental. But I
Yeah,
want
it costs more to ship it than it does buy the CD,
and with Belgium now, and it's the same in Spain. You basically near enough pay for the shipping, which is it's probably about 5, 6, 7 quid, something like that. But then you have to pay tax on it coming back in, and you can't sort of lie on the actual output. You've got to do that, and so therefore they're paying probably another tenner on top of that. And
Yeah.
people now with me, I've always been, if I want that CD, I'm getting the CD, and I don't care about the import. And I've probably spent 50, 60 quid on a CD or something like that, like for something that I wanted. But I understand, especially with the cost of living crisis, people don't. And that's the one thing that has semi-killed on certain areas. Whereas America, it's always been, and now sending a CD to the States isn't too much. Sending a T-shirt is now fucking ridiculous.
Yes.
T-shirt's like, I think it's near enough 15 quid.
And sending it the other way too.
Yeah.
I shipped out some hats to Justin Biggs from Sorcerer, and it was more to ship the hats than it would have been cost to just buy them
Yeah.
outright.
Yeah.
So no, I get that. It's
like
ridiculous.
you sort of semi feel guilty. However, the sales in America for stuff we've done, and actually big bulk orders for where people have wanted CDs, T-shirts, everything, and even back catalogue. So it's like, this is a heavy fucking parcel. This is gonna, the find back is really cool. So been all right. But yeah, that's the one bit I've noticed now that's like a proper and utter killer, and it's a shame. It's a real gutting shame that.
Yeah, it needs to be like a different distribution or plants where you could have that better distribution. And I think that's what the digital downloads are supposed to help with some of that cost. It's cheaper, so I can still support a band, pay $7 for a CD. I still have the music, but I still want to support that band. Like if they come to Cleveland or they come to the area, I'll buy stickers, I'll buy hats, buy shirts, I'll buy CDs there because I still want to support those bands.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's the one thing. So overall, it's been great. And like I said, there's some people I just want it, so I don't care about it. But
Sure.
you have noticed some other people that go, like I said, there's quite a few from Belgium, like I said, who said, we'll get it when we come over. We've heard it, we love it, we'll get it when we come over, because I totally get it. And to be honest, you're probably gonna sell some more merch anyway then with everything.
Sure. Yeah, you're gonna have to bring a whole extra van just full of stuff.
Yeah, so luckily now the amount that we can take over has increased, which is pretty cool. So we're pretty sorry. So we're gonna have a new T-shirt design for that.
Nice.
But yeah, it's been great, to be honest. It's been awesome.
Cool. Let's talk a little bit about touring then, since we're already there. So like, I know you guys are gearing up. You're doing some shows, which is great. So playing out, do you guys prefer smaller, intimate venues or larger arenas? Like from a fan's point of view, like I talked about, I love being close to a band, but what's it like for you guys? Which ones do you prefer?
I think it varies, because we've got this year, we're not doing too much, because the idea this year is that we've got a couple in Belgium, we've got a couple of festivals and a couple of normal shows. There's literally not many, because I was like, you know what, Aiden's back in. We've done so well with Bleeding. Let's keep it up and let's get another album out. And to be honest, I had some ideas. Ben had some. Andy had some that, like, beyond technical, that are fucking ridiculous. And we were like, let's just it's 2 times 20 times. And it was like, let's fucking get another out while we're on it, while we're buzzing. Let's get another album done, and next year's gig year, and then we can. And you know what? That's just what we decided to do. But with us, gig wise, it varies. I love some of the, there's some of the places you do that are a bit small that are really cool. but there's nothing beats some of the festival gigs, and we've got a massive festival one later on this year, which is like that we're really looking forward to. That's a good 1,000 people, that, and it's going to be a real killer show, that. So we're really, really looking forward to that. But it varies. It's always nice to have a big show, but we had one last year that we played, and it was the smallest place in the world, and we'd had a gig there that got cancelled COVID, and then we'd had an issue where the drummer at the time had been ill and we'd had to cancel, and they finally rebooked it. It was like, we have to do it because we felt so bad that, and we turned up to this place, the smallest place in the world for a stage, and it was like, this is going to sound fucking awful. Why we, everyone's sort of looking at me, and he's like, and then like Andy said, all of a sudden you've got people who've there, suddenly turn up that have traveled 2-3 hours, and you're like, oh shit, we really have got to put a really good show. And you can have, and we played this venue, I'm not joking, it was probably one of the best sounding stages and venues that we've ever played, sort of quite. So it varies.
It fucking rocked though, didn't it?
Yeah,
like
fucking
that. And everyone was in the mood for it. There was a good vibe. Everyone was like, not in your face, but they were close. Like I've played venues that are 6,000-7,000 people, and there's a lot of distance there. You've got barriers, you've got monitors, you've got all these things of like 20 foot before you even see someone. But in the smaller venues, they're not quite on the stage pouring beer on your pedals, but they're not far off that. I like that. I like that sort of vibe.
Mm-hmm. Ben?
You get a lot more from the crowd, and it's good to hang out with the guys afterwards. Like, you can walk off the stage and people will come up to you and literally just thrust their hand out like, that was a fucking good gig.
Yeah.
And I like the ability to do that. We're when we're playing and we're playing well, everyone feels it.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I will say I prefer bigger stages because I like to roam around, but I do prefer kind of the more intimate gigs because of what Andy said there, and having them close, and you just kind of buzz off the energy. If they're close to you and getting into it, it makes you play better as well, I find, because they're there for a reason, they're enjoying it. You want to make sure that you absolutely smash it. So big stage, small venue. That's my preference.
All right. Aiden.
A good mix. Like, obviously, it's like everyone said, it's always good getting on stage to a bunch of people, whether it's 10 or 100 or 1,000 that are into it. If you could play a massive room to 500 people, and if they're not into it, you don't feel good. Like, it's not a nice feeling. But like, even when, I mean, I haven't been in the band for a few years, but when we play at home in Lancaster in the Bobbin, we've known everyone long enough, and the same faces turn up. There's always a few new faces, but that's a really good feeling, playing to people you spend your time with anyway. And they might not even like the band, but they come and support you, and they look like they're into it. But yeah, and I've played various sorts of venues with various different bands, but I definitely think the bigger the venue is, you really have to have like a solid fan base in there for it to be remotely enjoyable. But yeah, that's my take on it. I do like a bit of space because I have a massive drum kit and I make a lot of noise. So
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I play drums and guitar, so I've been on both sides of that stage, right? Yeah, and you're saying, listen to me. I'm the fucking timekeeper. Right. If you're too far apart, and if you don't have a good monitor system, that can be hard. That can be really, really difficult when you can't hear yourself. And I've played enough of those gigs where like you fucking hate that because like I don't know what we sound like because I can't fucking hear anything.
There's a really good story here. We did a festival last year in Manchester, and like Dan rips me because I use a Kemper quite a bit, but I just track demos with it, and I've got another couple of bands that I use it for. But for Promethium, it's all amps, and it's really fucking loud amps that we rock up and we turn up. So I think we were like number 5 or number 6 on the bill. So we caught the bands before us, and there's the Quad Cortex there, there's a Kemper, there's an Axe Effects, and the sound was big, but the stage was silent. And so we rock up, and these guys are like, what the fuck have you brought? And we're like, yeah, we're just loading in some amps, and literally like heaving 4x12s onto the stand. We had 9 minutes of setup time between the swap over. So we're like, Just put a fucking mic on it. Let's just see what happens. Let's see what it sounds like. But that stage sound was big, you know, and it was enough that you get the vibe from it. I've worked in ears before, and I feel so really, really disconnected because you can't hear what else is going on. You need a perfect mix to do it. But with these guys, you got drums that right there, you've got two big 4x12s and you've got bass all going on. So as long as you can get a good vocal mix, you're good. And that's one of the things that Dan kept saying, like, your Kemper's great and everything, but you need to flap some air and to actually hear it on the stage. And it works
That's the
really
last.
well for us.
Yeah, last time we played in Newcastle, there were Kempers being used, and when we went on and did the sound check, like the sound guy was like, "Can you turn down a bit more?" Because they kind of had the sound ready for kind of the digital side of things. So we're turning down a bit, and it's a really good gig, but because we were turned down so low, because then you wanted everything coming out the monitors, it just on stage it didn't have that feel. You want to, like Andy said, you want to feel the music whilst you're playing it. And yeah, you have to have amps. They're so much better.
Oh yeah, I agree. At some of those small venues, it's a different vibe for the fans as well as the band. You know, you can really, when you can hear yourself and when you're into it, you know, it's a lot easier to play well. Then you don't have to worry about wondering what's going on. You know, yeah.
Plus, with how loud Aiden is, you've got to fucking have the loudest amps in the fucking.
Yeah, you kind
Yeah,
of
I mean, hey, drums. I mean, that's the thing. We can't turn them down. Sorry, you know, it's like
He's
you gotta hit them with a certain volume. You know.
I've so noticed him coming back because we rehearse at mine. We've got this little mini rehearsal room, and you have your amp level that you do. And Aiden came back in, and it suddenly goes up 2 more notches.
turn it up a little bit more, turn up a little bit more.
This is gig level now, man. This is
Yeah.
fucking gig level. This is it. And then when he suddenly gets into the song, it's like, let's go up again. Fucking hell, man.
Like Spinal Tap. This goes to 11. You
Yeah.
know? Yeah, nice, nice. Yeah.
Use some brushes. You know, it's like that's it. So even us now rehearsal, man, just because of him, man, he's the loudest drummer you ever did see. He's one of the best, but I gave you a bit of an ego there, man. All right.
Nice, nice. So what's your favorite food to eat when you're out on the road?
Now you need
Oh.
James for this one because James will
Yeah.
find anywhere. So whenever we go out, we get a couple of hours into a journey, and James is like, I'm hungry, so he'll go and find like 5 different things, and the rest of us are like, I don't want. Personally, I eat light when I'm on the road. I don't want to have a food poisoning, or I don't want to have a fucking accident. I'll just eat something simple and plain and light. James will like, I'll find a burger. I'm going to find fast food. I'm going to find this, and it just literally eats street food.
I can't eat before a gig. So if we've got a gig, I'll have breakfast, but then won't eat for the rest of the day because I hate feel bloated on stage. And there's been a couple of times where, because I like to headbang, even though my back's fucked at the moment, there's been a couple of times where I've nearly been sick, which you don't really want to spray the crowd with sick, really.
Yeah, unless you're at a guar show, you know, doing a yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, that's you can, aren't I lucky? I got a chunky bit, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
Aiden can't eat because of his Crohn's, so there you go.
I can, and I eat more than you lot put together.
Oh,
But before a show, it's like anything carby, full of carbs, load up on carbs, and then just fucking let rip for an hour or whatever we're on
then he
stage.
shits out.
yeah, free shit. Yeah, free shit. And then he does the
The
gig.
drum throne's going to be a toilet seat. Just just put a toilet right on the drum throne and just
Yeah.
we can just
Christ,
go
you
while you're
thought his
playing.
drumming
Man.
was loud. You haven't heard nothing when he's in the bathroom.
That's right. Sample this.
He's a thunder god from both
That's
ends.
right. Yeah, Chop and I have already figured out when we get old, we're going to be sitting with our comfy reclining chairs with the built-in toilet, so we don't have to get up.
Don't have to move at
We
all.
can just watch
Yeah.
movies all day and just sit there and
Brilliant.
just shit, not worry about going anywhere. You know? Yeah.
I like how you're thinking. This is good.
Yeah. What song of yours do you most enjoy playing live?
I'll go. I think
Go on.
I'm going to say Knives Out, but we may change that one shortly because there's another that I like that is not in the current set. But I'm going to go with Knives Out because I get a cool solo. It fucking rips as well. Like there's stuff in that people just aren't expecting, and you guys picked that out on the live. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, there was some of those ones. I'm like, because it was so different. Because
Yeah.
you're expecting, we've listened to music long enough to you kind of know, like you're expecting, once you get the melody down, you're expecting the solo to follow that. But it's like, oh. And that's what was so enjoyable about this, because it kept on, you never knew what was going to happen. It was always this new stuff.
Refreshing.
Yeah, like, oh my God, what the fuck was that? Yeah.
It's got such a cool vibe and a cool groove to it. And then it takes a couple of unexpected turns and a little bit more, and then it's done. It's like, right, that was
Yeah.
3.5 minutes, and look what we got. It was
Yeah.
fucking cool.
Oh,
And it always goes down really, really well.
It's
Yeah,
jam.
For
I'd have to
me,
go with the same.
go on, Dan.
No,
Go on.
I'd go with the same. I think the same. I think it's a groove. You know, it's a quick intro, it's into it, and then it's the sort of groove, and it's like it's a whole build up, and it's like everyone gets their own little show in it, sort of thing. So it's like, you know, it's just an enjoyable track to play. I love it doing that totally.
I'd go with Knives Out. I also love one of the older ones, Won't Break Me, which we tend to open with. It's just, yeah, it's just fun to play, and it's a solid song. And sometimes you kind of, when as musicians, you can get maybe bored playing certain things over and over again, or if you're not actually playing anything technical. But with this, the simple parts I like playing as well, because it really complements what Dan's playing. So Knives Out and Won't Break Me for me.
Nice.
I haven't really played any of the new stuff live yet. Obviously, I'm still learning this album in rehearsal room, but from being in the band previously, and I don't know why Dan doesn't agree, but like there's an old track. Is it on the Origins Gunslinger?
Yeah.
So I really like playing Gunslinger, Won't Break Me as well, and Murder.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking love the vocals on Murder as well. It's ace just to hear James rip that on the vocals.
Yeah.
And you sound
Murdering
like,
is fun.
that sounds fucking brilliant.
Oh yeah.
For a drummer, you're literally just hitting everything as fast as you can and as heavy as you can during Murder, and that's what I'm kind of there for.
Nice.
There's a new member.
Mhm.
Say hello, Ned.
Oh, very nice. Yes. What's this one's name? Here, I'm going to show you my butt.
This is Ned, the growler.
Oh, nice.
Little panther.
Very nice. Now, when you guys play out, and especially when you go to festivals, do you guys have like a contract writer? Do you have like any kind of quirky requests in your writer, like special foods or drinks, or maybe a few dozen white roses like Mariah
What the
Carey?
hell's a rider? We don't. I mean, Dan has to have winger playing. Don't you, Dan? And
Yeah.
a bit of
Yeah, we're
strike
not allowed to get into winger whilst Aiden's here.
or striper as well. But no, the only time we've had a rider is when we went to Belgium last, and we didn't ask for anything, and they said, "Right, here's some food," and we're like, "All right, well, cheers." And then we played a place called Waterloo in Blackpool a couple of times, and they just present you with food, and it's awesome. We don't expect anything, we don't ask for anything, we just turn up, on a rip the shit out the venue, like get everyone's head banging and enjoy it. So when there's bits of food, it's like, yeah, not gonna say no.
Belgium's the one. The great thing about Belgium is you go there, you not only get fed, but then they go and it's standard. You go, here's your 20 beers each as well. And you're like, what?
20.
For a band that doesn't really fucking drink much, that's like that'll do all of us, you know.
Yeah, that'll do all of
listen.
it. I can take some home.
Yeah, you could,
Well-
yeah, definitely. You could fill up. You bring an extra suitcase for the beer. You know.
When we played Belgium last, the second venue we played, like we did the sound check, came off, and they said, "Oh, we've got you some food," and we had a look, and basically the bar was just full of burritos. Like it ended up feeding the whole venue. They just made, well, here you go, just help yourself. Here's a fuck ton of burritos for you, and then of course the beer on top of that, and it's like, all right, we like it in Belgium, shall we say?
All right, nice. I can't wait to
I
hear
think-
what they
I
feed
think
you with this time.
we're pretty low maintenance. Like, you know, we turn up to a venue and it's like, okay, when do you need us by? And then we'll get there a little bit before that, mostly depending on, you know, other commitments or the traffic.
Or
James, yeah. And then James needs 3 food stops, so we just need to factor those in as well.
He's the prima donna. He's the Mariah Carey of the group, right?
Yeah.
You know, he's better for it though. So like, you fucking do it. That's great.
Okay, nice.
I don't want to deal with him hangry. So
Nice. Yeah,
Nobody
yeah.
likes anybody hangry. Yeah, you
That's
don't
a
want
real
hangry.
thing. That's a real thing. So, all
Yeah.
right, I'm gonna.
turn up and rock it, and then clear the fuck out. Go and watch the next band, because we'll stand there and watch the bands after us as well. It's kind of important. You don't just turn up and fuck off, and
Yeah.
Right.
you have to see other
Pet
people.
hate that. That's a pet hate of mine.
Yeah, I mean, you're at a festival. I think that would be one of the fun things is to be able to see all the bands who's out there. You kind of find new music and get to
Yeah.
meet them, hang out with them, and that's how these like lifelong friendships and touring possibilities,
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm going to switch gears a little bit and start asking some hypothetical situations. Okay. Now, this will be for all of you. Okay. You're on a desert island. What 5 bands' discographies do you want with you? Oh,
Metallica. So mine would be Metallica, Kill Switch Engage, Perfect Circle.
Good one.
I'd probably go Trivium. Now, the thing with Trivium, but their albums aren't amazing, but they will have a couple of awesome songs on there. And then I'll probably, just to kind of keep Dan happy, get like Stripers, and then throw it in the sea afterwards.
all right.
Yeah, Dan, is that all right?
In this, yeah.
Okay, Andy.
I couldn't imagine a life without Marty Friedman, so I'd have to go with a Megadeth back catalogue. But I'm then trying to decide, if I had to narrow it down, do I want Led Zeppelin 2 or not? But I think that probably would go in there somewhere, probably a GNR in there somewhere as well, and a guest press or a random pick for the last couple.
Okay, Aiden.
Iron Maiden, Led Zeppelin, Van Halen, and then quite more modern bands. I love Sleep Token at the minute; like they are just the thing. And then something like Lamb of God, Machine Head, probably. But I listen to too much different stuff to narrow it down to 5. Like there's unreal bands
Yeah,
out
it's
there.
like an impossible question.
It literally is.
Yeah.
My playlists don't follow any kind of genre, really, to be fair. They'll go from Kate Bush through to agoraphobic nosebleed in about half an hour. So it
Nice.
could be anything.
Yeah,
Cool.
good music is good music, no matter what genre or style. Yeah. And Daniel?
Right, well, I'd take Promethium, of course.
No, you wouldn't.
You don't need a shit yet, or not?
Coming. It's 7. It's normally about 13 minutes past 7. So
Okay, cool. You're right. I'd take Promethium. I don't know, count this. I'd 5-finger Death Puncher before Promethium.
I
Of
need a
course,
shit now.
You're making his Crohn's act up.
yeah. I'd definitely take Winger for when Aiden comes round on the boat, and then he'd probably take him back. I think I'd probably say Megadeth over Metallica. Yeah, I need a bit of that, and then I'd probably even it out by Sabotage.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, very cool.
Nice. Yeah, Sabotage is great.
You can't just have one Sabotage album. You got to have the full thing.
Yeah, exactly. This is the whole discography, right? You got to have it all. Right.
That's it.
Okay, if you could cover an entire album and play it live, which album would it be?
Oh. The Blackening.
Master of Puppets. Despite what we've said about Metallica and Megadeth over Metallica, I would take Master of Puppets without a doubt.
Hey, I'm Metallica over Megadeth all year. God, that's a good one. That
We try to find different questions, we try to
I've still
find
got
something.
the same answer. I'd go with Megadeth, but I'd go with Euthanasia.
Oh, okay.
That's a great album, though.
Yeah.
That
That is a
to
great
me, that's their best out. No, not a lot of people like it. It's a brilliant album. There's the great singles on it, but it's the stuff that they don't play live that are the best songs. And I think there's a bit of everything. There's great drumming, great guitar, great bass, great vocals. It's a good mixture of an album. To me, it's probably their only album I can listen to fully without skipping a track.
Interesting.
All right.
It is a great album, though. Yeah.
Yeah. Aiden.
I'd go
Ben, sorry.
with either. I'd actually go with my puppets myself,
Okay.
or Alive, or just Breathing by Killswitch Engage.
Mm.
Torn between the two.
Nice.
I'd say something like The Blackening by Machine Head.
All right.
Well,
Brilliant.
This
Ben already
band we're in
picked
now,
up.
this lineup here, this lineup of this band, I'd love to see Dan try and play Machine Head. Me and Ben can play Machine Head. I'm pretty
You know-
sure Andy could. I don't know if Dan could, so I'd love to see that happen.
Well, we actually know. I mean, Ben actually ripped off a Machine Head song for the album, and then we had to redo
Well,
it.
Yeah.
let's be fair though. We couldn't fucking play the Euthanasia, could we? So let's just go with that.
Nice. No one's pulling out the Peter Brady from the Brady Bunch. Clowns
What?
never laughed before.
What would your
Johnny
guys be
Bravo.
then? What album would you?
I
Leading the Ghost by Promethium. Yes, correct.
yes, I would say wow, there's so much good music out there. I wouldn't I like wouldn't mind doing Seventh Son of a Seventh Son
Yeah.
if I could do that. I mean, Moonchild is just one of those fucking songs that makes your balls just grow 5 times, like the Grinch's heart. You know, it's just one of those songs where like fuck, you're just glad you couldn't be able to hear. Um, but I also love like the harmonies and intricacies of Shaolin Death Squad intelligent design. You know, I mean that's just fucking brilliant. So, but playing live though, I think yeah, it had to be I think Seventh Son. You know, yeah.
Is
Chop.
that the album with Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner on?
That's Power Slave.
Oh yeah, is there?
Yeah. Of course, I could
That
you
was,
know
that was
live.
the first record I ever bought, Power Slave.
Oh really? It's
Mm.
great, great album. Yeah.
Oh, you shot up.
Chop.
Oh boy. Uh, I like Iron Maiden's my band. That's my all-time favorite band. So I have to put something in there. But man, I'm a huge Sabbath fan too. So I guess for Maiden, I think it'd be interesting to do the entire Power Slave album.
Mm.
I think there's some underrated deep tracks on that album, and I think altogether, totality, it's one of the best they've ever put out. The other one I'd have to say is a tie between two Sabbath albums, probably the entire Master of Reality or Mob Rules with Ronnie James. So those would be a few choices I give there. 5.
Nice.
You didn't mention the Tony Martin era.
Oh, I love Tony Martin era. I
I
guess
love
that finally that box set is coming out.
No, I
Tony
got excited about that.
Don't you
Oh,
fucking buy that, Chop. You've already got all those CDs. Don't you fucking buy it again.
Well, you know, maybe I do, maybe I do. But,
You
but
recognize
no,
that?
very excited about that.
You
Nice.
recognize
Oh
that?
yeah.
That's round the corner from us,
Yeah.
and that's on the Sabbath album. I keep going to
Oh,
it like
wow.
that.
The
Fucking
best album.
love it. Yeah.
Yeah, Tony Martin era is fantastic. I mean, other than I'd say the Forbidden CD, which gets rightfully so gets a lot of flack because he was on the way out of the band and Ozzy was coming back at that time. But
couple of good
yeah,
tracks.
the rest of his catalog with in that era is phenomenal. I really like.
You didn't mention the last two Maiden albums though yet.
Um,
I'm not a fan. Book of Souls take a while to grow on me. It's okay. It's not a great album. But I like Senjutsu better. Yeah.
Me too.
It's just a different era of Maiden. You know, they're just not ever gonna but we don't need another Peace of Mind. Although it'd be nice to have, but we've already got Peace of Mind, we've got these other albums, but they're still a phenomenal album, band. And I kind of like that they're trying something different. For them, they're kind of doing something. These albums, they're in the waning part of their career in some regards, but they're bigger than ever, and I like that they're pushing themselves to try things that they wouldn't have done 30, 40 years ago. So, I can't fucking blame them. Like my favorite band is Rush. So I followed them through, every era that they did too. So, but I just have to trust that they know what they're doing, and not every result is great, but it's still at the end of the day, they're one of the fucking best bands in the world,
No, I get you. And I think that was one of the things when you were sort of doing that live, like the live review of ours, and you were talking about it, and it made me think more and more about the amount of albums I probably bought in the last 3-4 years. And you buy it and you've got 4 or 5 songs on you like, the rest of it are fillers sort of thing. and I was trying to think, and I had this conversation with everyone I was talking, and the two things I was saying, what album have you got that you can honestly listen to from start to finish? There isn't a filler. It's like their Sergeant Pepper style album, you know, where
Mm-hmm.
on that. And also, which album have you got? And similar to what you said, where you said how it ended on My Fate. What album? Tell me your album that you've got where the final track gives you that oomph sort of thing. And it was hard for people to go through that and actually say. And I started going back afterwards. Your review made me go back to listen to some of my older classic albums that were your big influences, where you go, I can listen to that all the way through. The start's good, the middle's good, the end's good, and everything like that. And I feel that that has gone away from a lot of things with albums at the moment. I feel that you get it and you get it, and there's 4 or 5 songs that you go, oh my God, that's great, that's unbelievable. But it's missing that sort of like, oh my God factor throughout the entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to saying, oh my God, that made an album, like you said, you know, you listen to Seventh Son and Power Slave, and you're just like, fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And you listen to the new ones and you go, I like track 2 and I like track 4 and
Mm-hmm.
sort of thing, you know, and that's it. And that to me, I now I'm trying to go back through these classic ones to go. I remember when I got that on tape or on vinyl, did it, and it was just like an experience.
Right.
Love
Yeah.
it.
I find that a lot, with like discovering bands, like coming across you guys and coming across a lot of the bands that we've interviewed and talked with on the show. That's kind of how I'm feeling about this resurgence of the underground metal scene. That's where I'm getting my excitement from. you
Mhm.
know, Bands like Deceased, or more the more mainstream bands like, Ginger is finally getting their comeuppance, and, Midnight from Cleveland. I mean, after 20 years, they're finally, hitting their stride. Those guys, Sleaze and Speed, it's like just aggressive. That's
Venom
where
and
I'm
Motorhead
excited.
had a baby. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Venom and Motorhead had a baby, and it turned out to be Midnight.
love it.
Yeah, and when they come overseas, they tour. You gotta, if they come over to your area, you gotta go see them. They're just phenomenal. Um, no, I get it, but that's where the excitement is for me, because there's these. I think the expectation. I have no expectation going in, and I'm just willing to be wherever this band's gonna go. Like, we saw this young band, they're opening for Ringworm, on this tour. Assault is and
Yeah.
Ringworm are coming. Chop.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
yeah, just in a few weeks.
I love
And
Assault. They
Assault is
remind me of
like Death
Death
Angel.
Angel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like early Death Angel. These guys are young kids, um, probably 20 or something like that, 22,
Yeah.
and they are fucking brilliant. Just so good, But it's that early Bay thrash, technical death metal, good stuff. That's what gets me excited. And there's so much of that out there, and that's where the excitement is.
They're a band though that I feel have got better over the years. I feel like their most recent stuff has been like, wow. I think there was one album that was a bit meh, but as soon as they found their producer to sort of do them, with Jason Zukov, they were just like on fire then, totally.
I agree, Dan. Yeah, these last 3 to probably 5 releases have been spectacular. Really good.
Yeah, totally. Totally.
All
So
right.
I just changed
Oh,
topic.
that's fine. That's fine. I'm going to do
Okay.
the last hypothetical situation. Last question for you guys in the hypothetical area. If you could be any superhero for 24 hours, who would you be, and what would you do with your day of power?
I would be bullshit man.
So what's changed?
I'd swoop in on my fiery wings of justice and call out all the bullshit for an entire day. And then I'd just leave gracefully.
All right. Bullshit, man. I like that.
Who would I be?
Wow, that's a tough one, that. I think to be honest, we just sort of like how moody and violent I can be. I'd probably sort of like go with some kind of Hulk powers just for work, so therefore it has a bit more impact when I'm trying to piss Ben off when he's working.
Yeah.
He's the only professional guy that I know that can carry on a phone call when you put a bin on his head.
He's not lying. That generally it's quite funny because as the bin was going over my head, it just started echoing around whilst I'm talking to this person. I don't think they didn't say anything, so I don't think they noticed.
Yeah,
So
that was it. Or ball man, because I am pretty shit at sort of like throwing shit at Ben in the office when he's on the phone. So I'd like to have a bit more better aim, really, to be honest.
All right.
We do a lot of work at work, but we like to
yeah.
do this.
Oh, yeah.
And Ben, Andy?
Done that. I'd probably be Deadpool because why the fuck not? Yeah, just take the piss out of everyone and
Be dead.
yeah, and there are I won't go into it. There's a certain kind of people that I would happily just annihilate, and they'll probably come at me with shotguns and stuff, but I won't die, so I can basically obliterate them and be fine. And then the next day,
Promethium fans.
No, you've started him off. You've started him off.
I'm not going to go into it though. But yeah, I'll be Deadpool.
Nice.
I know exactly the kind of people you mean, by the way, Ben.
Yeah,
Tell us a story about that, Ben.
that's all right. It's all right.
This
You
one
got,
time,
didn't you get banned from a community on Facebook over that sort of thing? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Police didn't like
No,
it.
it's
but-
not racist or prejudiced. Don't worry.
No, don't worry. It's nothing like that. Nothing like that at all. Yeah, just around the northwest. There's just
a certain type.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's a good person.
Right.
He's a really nice person, but God obviously did punish him and gave him epilepsy.
Okay.
I'm the only one that doesn't smoke, drink, or do drugs in the band. So I'm a very nice
What do
person.
you mean? None of us.
Oh, sorry. None of you do. None of you drink.
Dan feels seen.
I'm joking.
All right. Andy, you got a superhero power?
I can't really top that. So I think if I had a superpower, I would be Dan for a day to work out what a triplet is.
This is how you play a triplet, you can't. Okay, I get it. All right, all right.
No,
Nice.
see, if you're going to do that, though, if you're going to do that just before you're about to finish being Dan, have a massive can of Red Bull and then just watch everything unfold. Basically, when Dan has a Red Bull, he's off his tits for about 24 hours. It's hilarious.
Oh, and he
Walks
writes
into-
songs as well. This is where all the songs come from. Like I stayed up all night.
Bleeding the Red Bull. Yes, that's the new album.
No, so when we played that venue Andy was on about earlier on, the small one, Dan had a Red Bull, and it was quite a trip back, and we got back I think about 2 in the morning, and then Dan dropped a message on the band thread at about 8 in the morning, like not been asleep yet. I've restrung 3 guitars, all from one Red Bull. And then he didn't get to sleep. I think he mentioned like he got a nap at about 4 in the afternoon. He's just from one Red Bull. So yeah, be Dan a minute before you're not going to be Dan.
Creative Red Bull.
Kind of Red Bull and watch all hell unfold.
Really bad. Honestly, my eyes just go. It's fucking hilarious to watch. But I have to go in and I come home. And whereas, you'd come home and your wife would be just like, have you been smoking? Have you been drinking? She's just like, you've had some Red Bull, haven't you? Your eyes. And it's like, no. And I even said, no, I haven't. No, I've been smoking marijuana. You haven't. You've had Red Bull.
You hang your head in shame. The walk of shame.
That was it.
I'm going to contact Red Bull. Maybe you could be like get a sponsorship or something. That'd be awesome. Gonna fuck Daniel up on this tour. Nice, nice. All right, we are heavy metal horror, so I want to switch gears a little bit and talk a little bit about horror. Are any of you guys horror fans?
Yep.
It's
Got
Aiden.
one?
It's gonna be Aiden.
Aiden. All right, Aiden. What are some of your favorite horror movies?
I love From Hell,
Mhm.
the one about Jack the Ripper with Johnny Depp.
Are you scared,
old-
Andy?
I like
That
the
is
old
good, actually.
classics, like the B movie style monster films.
Yeah.
Like with Bela Lugosi's Dracula and stuff like that.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
the really old school stuff.
Yeah, the Universal. Yeah.
Yeah, Universal monsters.
hmm
The more modern stuff's a bit shit. There's no like, I don't know if horror films have plot lines and stories, but modern ones are terrible. But then you get like the odd curveball, like is it His House or My House that was recently done around the same time as Us came out. And I like a fit. And when I talk about horror films, I like it to make you feel unsettled rather than scared.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean by that?
Right. Us does a great job of that. It's so
Oh, yeah.
fucking
So
hard to
good,
watch that
effective.
movie, and it's just like you just feel like it's crawling out of your skin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And
Yeah.
one of my favorite all-time horrors is Silence of the Lambs,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
as I'm sure everyone's is.
I'm banned from watching this sort of stuff because I freak myself out and then I freak everybody else out.
Okay. So no Exorcist for Andy. Okay.
I'm just not allowed to watch this shit anymore.
Well, I think what freaks people out is Buffalo Bill doing his tucky and his dancing.
oh, wait, I'd fuck me. I'd fuck me. I'd fuck me.
Fuck me so
Um,
hard.
Precious.
Aiden
Yeah.
normally does that dance on his first date with a woman.
Yeah. I wear other people's skin on a Sunday
Nice.
afternoon.
Catfish. Really, a catfish. There we go. There you go.
And go meet Jane.
Yeah. So I really love from foreign horror because there's not a whole lot of good horror coming out of America. It's a lot of remakes and a lot of torture porn. Although there's some good stuff once in a while. Like It Follows was fun, and Smile I thought were both. Smile was kind of creepy.
Yeah.
I love like Midsommar was really
Yeah,
kind of
Midsummer's
unsettling.
great.
There's one called The Ritual, which it's a UK movie. And there's a lot of Indonesian stuff that is really creepy, really good.
Really.
Yeah, very good stuff. So
Would you class would you class Parasite as a horror film?
I was just about to say that.
I just watched that a couple weeks ago, so I heard so much about it, and I was blown away.
Yeah, it's
I didn't
unreal.
expect what everything
That
that
is
went on
fucked
with,
up.
and I'm
That
like,
is fucked
holy
up.
shit, that was
Yeah.
phenomenal. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
yeah, it
don't know,
deserved all the
horror film,
kudos.
maybe. Yeah, horror film. There's definitely horror in it, but you don't. That's what's so interesting. But you don't expect that as you go through it, and then when it about halfway through the film and it switches gears, you're like, okay, this is
Yeah.
So, just outstanding. You know.
See, I'm like Phil off Modern Family. I need to know what's happening before I watch it. So therefore, if I'm with her, she's can watch a horror film. She hasn't. My wife and shit like that has no emotion whatsoever. She'll, which makes freaks.
That's why she settled for you, right?
Yeah, she's just like she's there, and there can be the worst scene in the world, and she's like, "There's no emotion," which makes me think she's gonna fucking kill me.
She's a sociopath. Yeah, that's true sociopath. Yeah.
Whereas I'm like there at the cinema, and like you'll go, she's got that thing that you sort of do where you go, right, if I do that, she can't see me. I'm gonna oh god, oh shit, oh, and then you quickly put it down. Oh yeah, that wasn't too bad. Oh god, I'm no word of a lie, right? We watched Child's Play again the other night. That still shits me up. I don't give a shit. The rest of them, fine. The first one freaks me out.
Yeah. I love the first one. Yeah, my grandma and I used to watch it. My grandma used to love horror movies. I couldn't watch, and there's nothing that would scare her too much. So she would say, "I like Chucky. He's got real pretty eyes, but he gets awful mean." I'm like, "Yeah, Grandma, he gets pretty mean." Yeah. All right. We're gonna do some one-off questions here. So, what non-music celebrity would you most like to have a drink with?
David Attenborough.
I'd go Jurgen Klopp, the football manager of Liverpool. Mainly because he's also leaving at the end of the season, which is shit. But hey.
I'd go with Angela White, the porn star.
Okay.
Which okay, wasn't there.
Yeah. Your wife's not around. You can say
Delete
that.
bit out. Delete that bit out.
Okay, an hour and 20 minutes in, cut the part out. I hope I remember that. I'll just blur you out so it doesn't.
Yeah, probably wouldn't have to pay for a drink. I don't know.
Yeah, well, you pay for it in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. Why does it burn?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then just call Aiden afterwards. I did it. You proud of me?
Got a whole colony down here now.
Yeah.
Andy?
I'm going Barack Obama.
All right. Excellent. So what do you love most about what you do in this band? Do you like being in the studio? Do you have touring or doing interviews with amazing podcasts like ours or something else?
Yeah, that
I love
one.
doing
That one.
interviews with the amazing podcasts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
we're
one.
fucking brilliant.
That was
That's,
that one.
About an
that's
album
the
I'm
right
not-
answer.
Yes, you are correct. That's all we need to hear. No, go ahead.
And we're done. Thank you. You've been watching Heavy No.
You know
So
that, like, if you, I know it's a shit answer, but when you collectively put all that together, we get to do all this stuff, and we get the right blend. We get the right mix of it. You know, we're not a studio band. We do a lot of stuff in the studio. We go out and we play an awful lot of stuff, and then we talk with people about it, and they talk to us about it. The amount of feedback that we get, some great, some fucking out there, that is just like really, really cool. That we've still got that vibe as a band, that I wouldn't change any single mix of it. I don't think we need to go and gig more. I don't think we need to go and, you know, track more. Like, we're most of us today have been tracking just different bits of a demo for the next sort of writing process. So we're busy doing stuff, but it's like, you got a couple of hours here. I'll just go and quickly track some guitars. I'll send them around the guys, and Dan will be like, "What the fuck is that? Just play a triplet, you come."
C-bomb.
Exactly. Six-hander.
I better hear a lot of triplets on this next album. I'm going to be counting them. We're going to have a tally, triplet counter when we do our live reaction.
I'll agree with Andy. I mean, the thing is that we've got a great bunch of people around us. It's great having Aidan back, and everyone's got their own little special things that they bring in and that they do. But you know, after we've done something, you know, I think we're at the moment where there's probably like 10 ideas floating around for the album. There's like 5 now that are nearing completion that we're sort of like happy with, that we're on. But once we've done it and, like, you know, send it, Aidan will, you know, add the drums, do a bit of changing. It's the talking as well about it and people's ideas. Like, Andy hears a song totally different to how I would, and his ideas and what he puts on, as opposed to just going, I'm going to play what you're playing. He adds this. Aidan goes, you know, like, this is how my idea for how the beat would go on this. Ben's Ben.
Me and Ben are the best rhythm section in the UK.
Do you know, me and Dan aren't the best guitar players in this band. It's actually between Ben and James. Yet we're the ones who play the fucking guitars. We're not the best guitar players.
You are.
We just have a really, it's interesting because no idea is a bad idea. Every idea,
Unless it's Dan's.
unless it's mine. Yeah.
I'm joking. I will say Dan writes the majority of the stuff, and then we just kind of
Fix it.
yeah.
Make it an actual song. Yeah.
Oh no, Ben's got this thing where he's got a process that he calls de-danning. He just de-dans certain things, but I'm going to do it like this, and you know, we don't really need that. It's fascinating to watch from the outside.
It's more fascinating when Ben likes something, because you sort of turn, when I show an idea, you go it and, like, you know, Aidan will go, yeah, that's cool. I've got a groove, I've got a thing, or I just need to work on that, and I've got it. And Andy will go, yeah, that's all right. And then Ben, if Ben likes it, they just sort of this on, yeah. Would you like it? Because Aidan and Andy are really, just tell me what's that. Yeah, it's all right. You've got no fucking emotion whatsoever. Even when the album's like, the album's done, oh my god, it's amazing, this is brilliant. Yeah, it's all right. Have you seen that review? That review's fucking show some emotion. You
Chill. I do. Just chill.
You've got no emotion whatsoever. Serious. It's just
Have
like,
you had Red Bull?
no, just desperate for a cigarette. But that's it, and it just works well. Like I said, you know, it's great because Aidan's bringing a different vibe to the stuff. We decided, you know, we're gonna sort of change things up a bit, and it's working nicely. And it's good how we all have, but we do talk about the stuff a lot afterwards, because I want to know, are we happy with that? We're not happy with that, you know. And there's the odd wild card, you know. We've got one song at the moment that we've written that's a bit like Manhattan. It's the wild card, which Ben, as usual, he's a bit funny about, where I'm like, dude, this is the Manhattan, this is great, trust me, you're a dickhead, just trust me. I know you might not like it, but you're gonna fucking love it, and everyone else is, so just show some emotion, you emotionless, heartless bastard.
I think that should be the name of their album, or at least the song. You know,
Yeah.
We've already
emotionless,
got,
heartless bastard.
we already got the
EHB.
title. Yeah, Aidan came up with the title, Taking the Piss, and it's a fucking great title. So we were like, yeah.
Taking the piss is good. I like that. I'll take that title. Yeah.
Well,
Leaving the
Aidan
ghost,
should be
taking the
taking a
piss.
shit.
It's all these 3-word titles. I love that.
Exactly.
You know,
There's a song on the
Manhattan.
album called Triplet.
Yeah.
But except Dan can't play it, right?
Yeah.
Still learning how to play that.
Oh my God.
That's great. That's great. Well, outside of the band, do you guys have any hobbies? And if so, what are they?
I'm a massive
Masturbation doesn't count. Chop. Masturbation doesn't
masturbation.
count.
I'm a massive football or soccer fan. My team are playing tonight, so I was watching that. But
Who's your team?
Liverpool,
Okay.
so top of the league. We're fighting in 4 competitions basically, but I won't bore you with it. So for me, football and family. To be fair, but I do like
The gayest answer ever.
I do play Xbox a little bit. I love the Assassin's Creed series. I've got them all from 2007 up to the latest one, and all the little ones in between. So I do play basically family, football, Assassin's Creed.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyone
The
else?
main hobby is insulting Dan.
Yeah. Alex.
Yeah, forgot
Followed
that.
by like I do like a lot of graphic design and stuff like that, but I work in live music and events as well, so that is my hobby, really.
Nice.
I read books about what is a triplet, but that's kind of it, really.
It's a trilogy of books. I think
There
you
you
need
go.
one for right.
I'm still on the first one.
Okay.
I'm
The
determined to do it this year. This year is my year.
Nice. That's right. Nice. All right. We got a couple games we want to play with you guys. This first one is called Blast Beats. I'm going to ask you a question, and then I want
Cool.
you to give me your answer as quickly as possible. And I know we got 4 of you, so you can all chime in however you want to do it. So we're going to start.
Andy always gives the best answers, so
All right.
I am conscious though, we've gone past 7:13 by quite a way. So it could be
Yeah,
Aiden's on the buzzer here, you know?
I've got a commode in the sofa.
There you go. Now, see, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Right. Comfort. Okay, Blast Beats. So, okay, favorite pizza topping,
Pepperoni.
I'm pineapple.
paperback or Kindle?
paperback.
Paperback.
Neither.
Fuck reading.
Book reading. Podcasts only.
That's right. Your favorite streaming service?
45.
What street?
That illegal one that everyone's not supposed to use when you get a dodgy Fire Stick.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with YouTube.
You can learn
YouTube.
everything on YouTube. You can probably even learn how to play a triplet on YouTube.
Yes,
Uh,
you can find
yeah.
Heavy Metal Horror.
That's where I've been
Podcast
going
on
wrong,
YouTube.
you know?
Exactly.
That's right.
You're
That's right.
there. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button.
Thank you, Chop.
You're
Favorite cartoon character?
Homer Simpson.
Griffin.
I had to self-moderate though. Just fucking put your hand over your mouth. Just don't say it.
Don't say it, Andy.
He's gonna go his kids shit then, isn't he? man?
Fucking is as well. Yeah, it's Bluey.
I'm
It's
going
Bluey.
with
I know you
Yeah.
saved Louis.
Bluey?
Randy Marsh from South Park. Randy
Peter
Marsh from South Park.
Peter
Definitely.
Griffin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Andy, who
Peter
was it?
Griffin,
Was it Bluey, the dog?
It's got to be Bluey, yeah.
All right. All right.
Well, it's actually Bandit, but you know,
Okay.
He likes the Bluey, does Andy?
Bluey was fine enough.
Favorite ice cream flavor?
Salted caramel.
Pistachio. No, Walling's ice cream. Pistachio is
great shout.
immense. Pistachio from Walling's. There's a place near Lancaster called Walling's, and they have everything from iron brew, apple pie. They have absolutely everything, and
You
their
take your family
pistachio
there
is
during family time.
awesome. No, I go by myself and just cry into my ice cream about
Just
you
goes for the
writing
free
shit.
samples. Just brings a bowl for the free samples. Just like fill it up, love.
Cry into my eyes.
Nice. Justice
We have
League.
one called Bakewell Tab. It's got frangipane in it. I fucking love frangipane.
Oh, yes. Yes.
All right. It sounds like a place we have nearby here called
What the
Mitchell's.
fuck has happened to you, lot?
Oh,
You
fuck off.
Shut
will
up,
you?
Dan. Go home, Dan. Oh, shit, you are. Fuck.
Justice League or the Avengers?
Probably Avengers.
I'd go
Yeah.
with
Star Trek.
Avengers.
Oh, sorry. A Star Trek or Star Wars?
Star Wars.
Star Trek.
No, Star Wars.
Family time.
Star Wars.
Bigfoot or Loch Ness Monster?
Loch Ness Monster.
Bigfoot.
Yeah, I'm married to Bigfoot.
Bigfoot.
I cried watching the film. Dan was about to say it. Dan was going to say it, so I called him out on it.
There you go. Dracula or Frankenstein?
Oh,
Dracula.
man.
Dracula.
Yeah, probably Dracula. Unless it's Robert De
Gary,
Niro.
Gary Oldman Dracula. Though.
There you go. How do you like your steak cooked?
Rare.
Medium.
Burn.
Yeah, medium well.
Dan's a
In
fucking
In fact,
prick.
whenever we go out to a restaurant, like, people want order steak if I'm ordering steaks. It's going to take too fucking long.
You got to call ahead and have them start cooking it
Yeah.
20 minutes before you get there.
Yeah.
Right. Favorite movie snack?
Crispy M&Ms.
Pretzels.
Oddly.
I normally fall asleep at the cinema, so
So you need a Red Bull, is what you're
Yeah.
saying. Okay. Nice. Favorite board game?
Risk.
risk. Yeah.
I'm going to be boring and say Monopoly.
Oh well, no. Cards Against Humanity.
Yes.
Uh,
That's great.
Suitably offensive.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Spielberg or Tarantino?
Tarantino.
Oh.
Family time.
Oh, I'll go with Tarantino.
Tarantino.
Favorite Christmas gift?
Fuck
Dildos.
Christmas.
No, what? A mate of mine. No,
What?
on the subject. A mate of mine bought his fiance.
It's here.
Bought his
You left
fiance.
it here, Aiden.
Oh man,
It's all blurry. It's all blurry. Put it in front of you. I can't. Your background's all blurry.
I'll put it on your kit. All right.
Put it right in front of you so we can see it. Your background's all
a
blurred.
mate of all.
Oh,
of
there
ours.
we go. That's the picture
Wow.
right there. That's the cover.
That's Aiden's.
Yeah,
A life
a
cast.
mate of ours bought his
Good for
wife.
you, Aiden.
Yeah,
You should be proud.
Family time.
Yeah. Well, with that, I guess you're gonna have a lot of family time.
It's fun
Uh,
being a single guy. What can I say?
There you go. There you go. Okay. The best concert you've ever attended.
Oh,
Kit Winger.
what?
Yeah, it was Kit Winger. I don't. We're gonna start this. Family time.
I'll tell
Right.
you what. Oh,
Get in
God.
the sea.
A Perfect Circle.
Mm.
They were, although it isn't on the, like, in the kind of realm of kind of Metallica shows, etc., like, they were so tight. And, like, what I loved about it was that you weren't allowed to have your phones out. So everybody was actually just watching.
Yeah,
It
you're in the
was
moment.
absolutely fun. Yeah,
Right,
it was
yeah.
fantastic.
I love that.
Mhm.
Skid Row in 1990 was a lesson in guitar tone. That was fucking awesome.
Hell yeah.
Nice, nice. And the last one, your favorite line or scene from This Is Spinal Tap.
Goes up to 11.
Yeah.
I think that's
That's the only line I remember.
It's not the lines though, it's the look, isn't it? Like it's
Yeah.
what's not said rather than what is said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now Tap, there's a
Come
new
on now.
Spinal Tap
Hello,
album coming out,
Cleveland.
or a
Hello,
movie.
Cleveland.
There's the sequel
What was
movie
that?
being made right now. A new Spinal Tap
sick.
movie's coming out. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I saw them in '92 on the Break Like the Wind tour. So yeah, in Cleveland, which was
Break
awesome.
Like
It was a
the
great
Wind.
show. It was awesome. They did an urban version of Sex Farm. They turned it into a rap, which was pretty great. That was
Wow.
just brilliant. Okay. Our next game is called the Hot Seat, and we name it because this tends to make some people uncomfortable.
My
So if
seat
your
was
Crohn's
very
acts
warm.
up, just glad you're sitting on a commode. I'm going to name a band, and I want you to tell me your favorite album by that band. All right.
Mhm.
So we're gonna start. Black Sabbath.
The
Yeah.
best of.
The best stuff. There we go. Everyone's
probably
gonna
go
be the
with-
best stuff from Aiden.
I'll probably go with Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
I'd go with the Tony Martin The Cross album.
Headless Cross.
Headless Cross. No.
Okay. Judas Priest.
The
Wow.
best of.
Not the non-best of.
Firepower.
Queensryche.
Oh,
Oh.
Minecraft.
What was that one,
Like-
Andy?
Minecraft.
Minecraft. Okay.
The best of?
I think the first album with what's his face with
Bitwinger.
Jeff
Yeah.
with Jeff
Oh.
Latort.
Yeah, the first album.
Salvatore.
Yeah, just
Oh yeah, the self-titled.
Okay. Okay. Motorhead.
Motorizer.
The best of.
I'll go with Dan.
Yeah.
That's the best way to go around this whole thing. Aiden's found he's got the golden goose,
I
man.
live in the loophole.
There you go. Carcass.
We had this one last time. What's the second
Yeah.
one called?
Heartwork, or that was like the third
Heartwork.
album.
Yeah, Heartwork.
Then there was like first couple albums I can't even pronounce, like Symphonies of Sickness and
Reek of putrefaction.
Reach of Putrefaction. Yeah,
Big
that's
thanks.
There was Surgical Steel one as well.
Surgical Steel's
Oh,
brilliant.
fantastic.
Thick
Yeah.
album.
Dio.
Mm.
Do
Don't
you want to
know.
go, Aidan? You can't say the best of.
The best
worst-
of Volume 2.
The worst stuff.
I
Yeah.
was going to go with Volume 3 myself.
Volume 3.
I was going to go with Volume 3, the 2023 remastered on vinyl.
What's the one after Angry Machines or the one before it?
Killing the Dragon.
No.
Oh, in Magica.
No, there's Angry Machines and there's the other one before it where it was during
Oh crap. I got it. Strange Highways.
I like Strange.
Oh,
Highway.
Strange Highway is great. Yeah, that's a good
Great
one.
album.
Yeah, very soupy.
Different album.
Mixes like syrupy, thick. Metal Church.
The first one back with the singer
Mike Howe.
yeah, when he came back, the first one of that's my favorite. Forgot what it's called now.
No idea.
Best
Oh.
of.
The Beatles.
Fuck 'em. I'm sorry, I am not a Beatles fan. I can't.
Oh,
Nothing against them individually. I don't get the hype. In my personal opinion, this is probably going to piss people off. Fucking overrated.
Oh, you've started him off now. This is exactly why he got banned.
Oh,
I'm going to say nothing else. I'll leave it at that. There might be some bad comments. I apologize. But
Hey, that's okay. We can't like everything, you know.
Yeah.
I feel the same way about Led Zeppelin. So that's just me. So I know. See, there I'm gonna get a lot of middle fingers.
I'm a Stones fan over the Beatles myself personally, so that's me. I'm not a fan of the Beatles.
Yeah. I'll agree.
Rush. Don't any of you say fucking Rush sucks.
No, I've not listened to enough to know. It's
Shame
it's
on
interesting
you, man.
though.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. It
It's
is
all right.
interesting.
You'll make up for it next time. I know.
I couldn't honestly name you an album title, but I do like Rush. Neil Peart is like unreal.
Yeah, that's how I taught myself how to play drums. I just listened to Rush, Moving Pictures over and over again, and just taught myself how to play drums. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. Opeth. Andy's been quiet this whole time. Andy, do you not listen to
I'm
music?
waiting. I'm waiting for the legacy to come along. You know, so I can say.
I got you. I got you.
Why have I forgot the album name? Was
Deliverance.
fucking
Deliverance is great.
Yeah.
Blackwater Park.
Blackwater Park. There you go.
There you go. Okay. King Diamond.
Abigail.
Yeah.
Not listened. Sorry.
Best of.
Best of.
Okay. Hopefully this one you guys will all be able to chime in on. Iron Maiden.
Honestly.
So might be a bit different.
God, fucking go again.
No, so Brave New World, right?
Yeah, I was
Brave
gonna say.
New World.
Yeah, it's got some great
because
tracks.
Hell of a return. Yeah.
It's fond memories of listening to it. So
Those-
it's kind of the music's really good, but also the nostalgia side of it as well. So Brave New World.
Yeah, those songs are good live. When you hear like Rock and Rio from the 2000, those songs are so much better live. You know,
Matter of Life and Death, I think, is the best.
That's great. Really proggy, like a huge prog departure.
That's
for me.
what I like about it. It took me a long time to get into it. Now I love it.
And you hear some of that carry over into Final Frontier
Yeah.
on songs like was it the City of Gold,
Yeah.
Eldorado and
Yeah.
Starblind, you know,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
Star-
I didn't understand when it came out, and
Yeah.
I wish I'd understood it.
Yeah. Just a few more on the hot seat. Testament.
Legacy.
Gathering.
Low.
The best of.
Low is just
Low's great.
fucking low is.
Yeah.
Low is.
That
That's
was
good.
such a
Dan
blew me
made a
away.
good point. It was ahead of its time. That's
Yeah.
something Dan has said, and I'll agree with him. It's just like you just put it on, and it's just like you get that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So-
Chuck Billy's
great.
voice. It's just like, what the fuck is this all?
Well, when Killswitch got Chuck Billy on their last album, and he just fit perfectly on even on Killswitch Engage, and like when you watch live footage of him, and he still has low though.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Great album. Great album. Just a few more. Anthrax.
What's the one with Black Lodge on it?
Oh,
That's Sound of White Noise.
Yeah.
I like that. That was a high school album for me.
Nice. It's a good album.
I'd probably go with that. Yeah.
Excellent. Slayer.
Actually, I'd go with Christ Illusion.
You're
I like
religious.
Christ Illusion. I like Repentless. I think that I know there's the classics, but I just think those two albums. I think Christ Illusion's an album that didn't quite get as good as what it should have done. I think it's brilliant.
Anything for me with Slayer is Dead Skin Mask or Seasons in the Abyss. That's it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Seasons.
Nice.
best
I
of.
agree with those three.
All right. And the last one, Kiss.
The one where they didn't wear the makeup.
Look it up.
It's got Unholy. Unholy's track
Oh,
one on.
Revenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got some good tracks on it.
I like Asylum.
Oh, okay.
I like Asylum.
Asylum.
All right.
Who wants
All
to be
right.
lonely?
Excellent. Well, we've only got a couple more questions left, guys. So this one is about fandom. We're all fans of other artists. What is your favorite piece of memorabilia? Like something you have something signed, a T-shirt, something like that from a show.
I've got the original Live Shit Binge and Purge Metallica box set with the VHS. So that's mine.
Nice.
I've got one of Steve Harris's wristbands.
Nice.
Go and download one.
Yeah. I got Dave Murray's wristband. We can get together.
Yeah, and I've got one of Dave Plectrum's as well.
Nice.
Before Dan gets into his signature collection of Alex Skolnick and various Kiss guitars, I went to see Skid Row, and Scotty Hill gave me a couple of guitar picks, and the following week I was on stage, and our frontman was Sebastian Bach, and I gave him one of those picks because we just played I Remember You, and he sang it, and so my story is I don't have a favorite piece of memorabilia anymore because I fucking gave it to Sebastian Bach.
Fucking Sebastian.
That's a good
I've
story.
got a friend who quite a while ago went to the Anthrax, and when Scott Ian was throwing his picks out, it landed in his boot somehow. It fell into his boot, and he just froze. Like, I just felt something go in, and he kind of reached down and then basically left it in there because it was the safest place for it.
Nice. All right. Well, last question, guys. What are your plans for the rest of 2024? I know you're working on a new album. I know you got some other shows coming up, but is there anything else that we don't know about for Promethium coming up for this next year?
So now we got
Dan's having a sex change.
Yeah,
Yeah.
having a sex change.
He's having triplets as well.
Triplets. Yeah. Triple sex change. I'm gonna have yes.
We're doing the greatest hits.
Yeah, Dan might adopt his son. We don't know yet. We'll see.
Loads and loads of tracking currently for demos, aren't we? We've got shows booked, we've got merch going out the door, we've got CDs, we've got promos, we've got When
There's a video in the works as well.
Oh yeah, yeah, we shot a video
Oh,
like
nice.
2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah, we've got a
Nice.
video.
I
Yeah,
forgot about
we're gonna do one more video, and that's it. Studio just gigs. The main thing is we want to get this new album sorted for next year. Next year is the big year with the gigs, so
what's it going to take to get you guys to come to the States?
money.
Sponsorship by the best
Yeah.
podcast we have ever seen in our lives.
It's not heavy metal horror. All right, we'll try. Hey, we make
Yeah.
so much money off of this now.
Yeah.
Speaking of our sponsor, Hydro Flask, seize the
Still waiting to
moisture.
get our Patreon site to get. Oh, yeah, Hydro Flask. Don't forget to plug it.
Yeah, I'm doing
Our
a Patreon site
non-sponsored
where people
sponsors,
pay me money to
Hydro
keep my
Flask.
clothes on.
Yeah.
So, like, no. I don't want to go blind. No, thank you.
I think we'd all love to come play over there because it would be
I genuinely
pretty immense.
think we'd be best suited on a tour with like Taylor Swift, maybe as a
Yeah.
support for Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Hey, she's you get in her wake, and hey, she made $1 billion on this last tour, so why not?
Exactly.
Yeah, you guys could open for her.
And I think she's probably got a best of Aiden as well, so you might be all right.
Yeah. That's what
Yeah.
I know. That's what I know she
And
is.
James is single. Yeah.
Hey, yeah, you can fight Kelsey. You guys can go at it. So
Just when you get kicked off the tour, then you don't.
nice. Well, guys, I want to thank you so much for spending some time with us this evening. It has been a blast just to hang out with you and to get to know you again. We love your record. We can't wait to hear the new one. Just thank you so much for spending time with us.
Thank you so much for all the time and the effort that you put in as well. It's really, really appreciated.
Yeah,
Thank
you. Brilliant.
We'll be happy to do a live reaction to the next album too.
Yeah,
absolutely.
we will send that to you definitely. We promise.
That'd be great. And before we go, can I? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was going to tell the guys also thank you as well, and congrats on all the great success in 2023 and pushing forward. We're fans. We're looking forward very much to new music and everything else. So congrats and everything.
Thank you so much.
And one last thing before you go, could we get a bumper from you? You could all say at the same time, "This is Promethium," and you are watching Heavy Metal Horror. Could you do something like that for us?
you. Count us in.
All right, 3, 2.
This is
We are
Promethium.
Promethium.
And we completely fucked that up, didn't we?
It sounds like what Chop does. He's always a second behind me.
I'm sorry, I was too busy thinking about what I put on the greatest hits. That was got an idea. Right. And also Taylor Swift had just messaged.
She's looking forward to watching it. She's our fan. Taylor, you're coming on. Don't worry. Yeah, or if you want to do it individually, that's fine too. Or if you want to do it all together,
Let's try it together again.
One more time. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
It's Promethium.
We are Promethium.
We are watching.
Promethium. Heavy Metal Horror.
Taylor Swift.
Okay.
You're watching Heavy Metal Horror.
Exactly how the songwriting goes. It's fucking shit.
Hey, you know what? We're gonna keep that one.
Also, click like and subscribe.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do one last time just to see. Third time's a charm. It's a triplet. All right, so we'll see.
Yeah, no, I got it.
Okay, here we go. And the last one.
This is Promethium.
You want to listen to?
The Heavy Metal Podcast, Horror Podcast. Oh, fucking hell. This is Promethium, Heavy Metal Horror Podcast. Fucking get in.
Click like and subscribe.
Ohio. Boom. Greatest hits.
Hydroplex.
Click like and subscribe.
That's fucking brilliant. Great. Excellent. We are gonna get out of here. We're gonna do our thing out of here. Hey, you can find Heavy Metal Horror on unsaneradio.com. Listen to full episodes or download to your device. You can find us on Facebook, Heavy Metal Horror Podcast. On Instagram, look for Montag Lewis, one word. On our YouTube page, Heavy Metal Horror Podcast. If you're watching, that's where you're at. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, as Chop mentioned before. And if you know someone who'd like our show, tell them about us. This has been Montag, Master of Illusion.
Chop top.
And guys, I want you to invite you to bring up the horns. You've been watching and listening to Heavy
Metal
Horror.
This is Doug Helvering, and you have been listening to Heavy Metal Horror, the best podcast that you've never heard before.